That's good.
Where is my remote? Got it. Let's get the TV on. So we're out here in the garage this afternoon. If y'all haven't been following Justin Swanstrom and Cameron Johnson, really, Justin's cool. Cameron wears the crown. Dude, Cameron is my dude. That dude is straight in beast mode putting that car back together. So if you're a fabricator or a builder, or you own a shop like I do, and it excites you more the build than the actual race, Cameron's your dude. Check out Justin Swanstrom. Stay up with his Facebook and all that, because he's been posting pictures like every day of how they're on fire with that car, man. Like, Cameron's just straight up. I had to shoot him a message and tell him that I was like, dude, you're doing it. I was like, you're a straight role model. I shot that message to Cameron. Top notch. So we got a mess out here. I've got crap everywhere. Y'all know the deal. We worked on a trailer this weekend. We left the panel on the car where it was at. We got trash all over the floor, boxes all over the floor. Harper's got a mess out here. We got packages shoved on the hood. And of course, we got the junk table absolutely covered in crap. So it is Tuesday afternoon. Look at that crap. Mountain. I mean, it's a pile of crap. So that I have to clean up. So, that's what the wife does. She throws the trash out, but she don't want to walk from that door to that door. Trash can's right there. So what she does is she puts it all down there. There's a bag of trash. I wouldn't even be surprised if she ain't dumped Harper's diapers out here. And there is the remnants of her birthday cake on top of my toolbox. No, it wasn't her birthday. It was actually her grandma's birthday, but she took the cake and brought it all home so she could eat it. So then when she's done with it, she ditches it out here so that I can walk from there to there. I don't know if y'all get treated like I do, but so we're gonna dive right in. I have a couple pretty cool things to go over real fast. I don't know what all we're gonna get done this week on this car, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all right now. We might take a week off of the Comet. I don't know. I've been off since Thursday. I literally treat it like a second job, so I haven't worked on the car since Thursday, because all weekend we worked on the race trailer. Y'all seen that, and then let's see here. Monday we worked on the shop. Chris Kinney with the night train. We did his golf cart body. Finished it up Tuesday, which is the day this morning. We flow coated the golf cart body, and then Tuesday, which is today, we started the 4i at the shop, the paint work on it. So I've been busy, wide open, doing the 4i, doing the Fox body. I'm gonna have plenty of content for y'all. So go ahead and comment right now if there's anything you want to see on painting a vehicle. If there's any questions you have, if there's anything you want to see how it's done, if there's anything you want to show me, because I'm pretty much doing all of this from we're welding some patch panels to we're doing dents, we're doing primer, we're doing blocking, we're doing guide coat, we're gonna be doing buffing, like we're gonna be doing the whole 9 yards. So if there's anything that you want to see, now's the time to tell me so that I can throw it in a video or make a video for you when I get to that stage. I'm gonna try to be respectable to everybody on this channel and not flood y'all with a week or 2 weeks of straight up, Fox body stuff. So I'm gonna try to get a little done on this, but I'm also gonna enjoy a little bit of time off. So being a YouTuber that puts out a video a day, I have to get footage. So normally, I push myself a little extra on this car, and then whatever progress I make, I bring it to y'all. But there's sometimes where when I come home after working all day, that I don't really feel like working out here. So, I mean, y'all see a video a day because I literally never take time off. So you got to think about it. Every time I bring you a comment video, it's because I worked all day at the shop and then I come home and work that night to make progress and to, you know, be able to put out content. And I don't ever take no time off really. So I took off like last night. I didn't mess out here. Obviously, like I said, I haven't been out here since Thursday night, but we're gonna try to at least tonight get this mess cleaned up, go over a couple things, and then I just want y'all to go ahead and comment if there's anything that you want to learn or see that I can go over in the Fox body thing with y'all. I'm gonna try to pretty much hit on everything. So if you are building a project at your house and you kind of want to know the basics, like how you would do a race car. So if you bought a race car project and it was in rough shape, what all has to be done, or if you were to pay a shop, what all a shop would have to do in order to paint that car. So that's kind of the goal with the Fox, is to just kind of shed some light again in case y'all missed Randy's series, because we covered Randy's car in depth. So if you didn't see all the videos of Randy's car, you can go to look for the playlist, and it's going to be entitled Turbo John Racing Crew. That's going to have everything that has to do with John and Randy in that playlist, period. That's all that's in that playlist. I try to organize my playlist. I'm probably going to go ahead and create a playlist for the Fox body also, the 4i. We'll probably name it like, I don't know what we're going to call this thing. Maybe Mr. Chicago. I've seen somebody drop that below since his name. He doesn't want his name put on there. Or we might call it Chicago Grudge. I like that. I'm feeling that. So maybe we'll call that project, you know, Chicago Grudge. We are doing the t-shirts. So I have some t-shirts up on the store. They're very basic. We went over another channel. The link is always in the description on every video. But with every project, we're going to try to do a t-shirt for each project. So I haven't went back and made one for Randy's, but when this car is done, I'd like to get a finished picture. It don't have to be together, you know, with the motor and everything in it, but I'd like to get some kind of picture of it so that we can make a t-shirt out of it to highlight that project. So if y'all ever find a project that you just really were in love with, then, you know, maybe I could try to bring some t-shirts to highlight each project. So let me get some of this mess cleaned up, and then we are going to run through these packages, and I'm just gonna show you the handful of stuff that we got in and kind of just do a little update on where we're at with the car. Anybody that's wondering, there's old Red sitting outside waiting to get started. I swear sometimes I feel like I should just leave this thing alone, let it sit right here, because to me, this is almost like a turn off that it's this far done. It's kind of like all the fun's done, and now like it sucks. That baby out there covered in rust, that looks like a load of fun to me. That looks like a load of just absolute enjoyment. This, man, we gotta wire this thing. I got something cool over there in the box I'm about to show y'all though. All right, so check out what we got for the car. Boom. Boom. Y'all were tearing me up, man, talking crap about my Chinese lines and fittings. So we got some used Brown and Miller lines. Let's see if that'll make you happier. All right, so we got our Dash 12 Brown and Miller Racing. Yeah, so let's hope that that one will work. This one was too short. Boy, don't they look about the same? Man, they close. Look. It's a little bit longer. Y'all about to be laughing at me if it don't work, man. So, like I said, the next jump up was like too big. It was way too big for what I needed. So, praying that one works. We're going to put that here in a second. But this big jewel. So, it's cool because I got these two matching. Just lucked out on that. So, this is a Dash 20 AN Brown and Miller. Really nice piece. We paid, just like I showed last time, same seller on eBay. There's the name. There's the website to look up. We paid $68.62. Let's see here for the Dash 20. So that's the Dash 20 Radiator line, $68.62 for that one line. So I hope my $68 makes y'all freaking happy. that there's no Chinese stuff on there. And like I said, I did the math on it to do another Chinese unit. It was only going to save me like 10, 15 bucks versus the Brown & Miller used one. So this is still in really good shape. So we're going to put this on and see if it fits real fast, and then we're going to show you what's under the blanket.
So no matter how much you plan no matter how much you try to plan, you just never know. So the Brown & Miller line fits perfect. Went back on our damaged thread, no issue. Had to use the wrench. Some of y'all were complaining about that, but I'm not concerned about it. Like I said, we'll cut this one back off next time Radiator comes out. For right now, it's perfectly fine. It's not hard enough to get on that it alarms me in any way, shape, or form. Trust me, I'm the king of cross-threading, and that one's going to be okay. I know what cross-threading feels like because I do it so freaking much at work. So it clears the alternator just fine, no issues. It clears down there. It clears our other two lines. It goes around in a 90 and goes in there. But of course you can't screw it on. It's a pain in the butt. So you got to take out this standoff for the Procharger that mounts right there. That way you can slip your wrench in here. You can actually get a turn on it right there to tighten it down. So she's tight now, but it's just tight. I mean, it's just getting tight with all this piping and everything in here. It's just, it's getting tight, but that's still not bad. I mean, that thing comes right off. You don't have to fight with it at all, so it's not that big of a deal. And if you had to take this pipe off, that's not integral anyway. I don't think we should be unhooking the radiator line that much. I wanted it to go this way. Y'all remember we talking about it? That's the whole reason why I unscrewed it originally, but it's too long to go that way. So it ended up working perfect where it routes like that and doesn't hit anything, doesn't touch anything, doesn't hit anything. So I'm going to consider that a win. All right, so there you go. You literally couldn't really get better than that. I mean, it kind of looks awkward, like it's like pulled tight, but it's not. I mean, it threads right on top fine. Like it's just literally perfect length. So if later on I decide to get these lines remade, what I would do is I'd probably keep the angle on this one. So I can't remember. Let's see here what angle that is, actually. So I don't even lie to y'all since I got it right here. So one's a 45 and one's a 30. So that's going to be a 30 on this end. So I'd keep that 30-degree angle, but I would change that 45 to a 90. So I'd make that 45 where it come, a 90 straight out of there, and then kick there, and then that way that's a 30 into there to a 90. That's the only thing I would change, or put a straight on that end. You could also put a straight on that end with a 90 down there. But I mean, for a line that was just found off of eBay, I mean, you can't beat that. So let's see here, just so y'all know, look, clearance, not touching. Can't get closer than that, but she ain't touching. So hopefully y'all are proud of me now to see some freaking Crimped Brown & Miller on here. That's pretty it's pretty sick, man. So all this Brown & Miller up there. I can tell you, if this motor blows up ever and comes out, we're painting it blue. So painting it blue. It will flow better with all of the lines, and it will go with the Ford. Originally I was going to do tons of stuff on this car in copper and orange. Like I wanted to do all my lines black and orange because they just look absolutely sick. But then the price of the stuff and, having to figure out what you need, it's just not practical for me. So, I mean, you'd have to figure out lengths and all that. And as you can tell, I'm not the greatest with that. So that's the cool thing about doing it with these used lines, is that then later, if we wanted to, we could pull these lines out like that. For that line instance, we would send it to Brown & Miller and say, hey, remake this line, but I want a 90 on one end and a 30 on the other. The same way with any line that's a little too long or too short or whatever, is we could change it. So the other big AN Radiator line, I mean, that one works fine. There's really no reason to change that. But if I could change it, it would definitely be, a 90 that we would just curve around and we'd shoot straight into the block over there. We want to do a 90 to a 30. So, and I tried to do the 90 to the 30. It's just then it's too long. So what happens is when you do the 90, then it comes up like this to be able to go into the 30. So the actual length of the line is a little too long, but it works perfect when you dip down like that. And I mean, that's not gonna cause no issues. So again, we're just working with what we got, but trying to make it look like $1 million bucks, like we spent a bunch of money, and we really did not at all. So I am going to show y'all this, but we are going to go ahead tonight and just loosely bolt on our grip tech pulley to our Procharger to get this box off of the table up here. I'm just kind of trying to clean up a little. Let's see here, that's technically trash now. We can take these lines and put them over here on the shelf. And I did have one question for y'all on this line. So there's my other Dash 20 also. So actually that one is not a bad idea to use that. Let me see something. So I was thinking about, I got this Dash 20. So I was wondering, do y'all think that when we start racing that I should vacuum, put the shop vac on this thing between rounds? Obviously it has a radiator, so I'll drive it back obviously, but we'll put a fan on it, and then even though it's not methanol, so you're not really sucking out water vapors or anything, but you're just trying to suck heat out of it so that when it goes up for next round, hopefully it's cool. So we'll cycle the water between rounds probably, which will help obviously cool the heads. But then I was thinking also to go ahead and hook up a vacuum, you know, undo the breathers and hook up a vacuum to pull heat through the engine. I mean, that's one thing a lot of people do. It's just most of the time them cars are like methanol cars and a little faster and everything, but like, why not? What's the pros and cons of that? Would y'all recommend that, or would you literally just leave your car if you did have, if you know, this level pump gas 80? Let's see here, E85 is what we'll probably start on. We'll probably eventually switch over to like a race fuel, but would you put the vacuum on it, or would you not? Would you just circle the water through the heads? I say, why not put the shop vac on it? It's super easy. Not an inconvenience. It's just going to pull heat out faster. You know, even though you have the radiator to cool it, why not completely like get this thing like really cool down? So what I was thinking, I'd literally just take this, you know, and cut one of these in half, and then basically cut it in half and then slide my shop vac hose over it, because I bought a shop vac used the other day at another auction, and it's got a really long line. So if I cut that in half, then I could put the shop vac over that, clamp it, and then you literally just, you know, screw this on with a shop vac hose running down through there, or it could run up over the fender, but that would be just a real nice way to really secure the shop vac to there so that it's not, you know, just stuck on there. Like, I don't know. Y'all let me know your opinions on running the shop vac on a motor like this, or would you absolutely just not do it and just skip? This is all my junk shelf. We still got pedal covers to put on, and throttle cable I have to figure out. I've got the old billet fuel pressure regulator for sale on my Facebook, and then we still have the MMR water pump delete plate. So yeah, and I do have cool covers. I just need to cut them to clear the breather tubes if I want to run cool covers, which I probably will. It's about time to probably try to start working on them. So I'm gonna throw this real fast on our hub here. I have to call Procharged this week. I keep forgetting, and I want to order the keyway and the washer because I don't have them. So, and I need to, let's see here, I think it said in the box what to torque these down to. Let me see, because I probably should go ahead and do that if I have the correct torque wrench to do that. I don't know if it's in inches or foot-pounds. I think I had it wrote down. Let's see here. I think it should be 6 to 7 foot-pounds for the Grip Tech pulley. Yeah, 6 to 7 foot-pounds on the little, use blue Loctite, and 6 to 7 foot-pounds, and it says size notation faces away from supercharger. So size notation faces away from supercharger, so it goes on the hub like that. Okay, so we need some blue Loctite, which I don't think I have. What is that? Super glue. Will that work since it's blue? Let's see here. Yeah, thread locker blue. Cool, so maybe we can do this. What size is my torque wrench? I'm pretty sure it is foot-pounds. So let's see here. Yes, it is foot-pounds, but the lowest it goes is to 10 that I can see, and that said 5 to 7, so I don't trust that. So we're not gonna do that. I think we are just going to roll with our hands and use our human torque wrench, which mine's probably not that trusty, but I think I'm just gonna put some blue Loctite on it and just bump it down pretty snug and let that thing ride, because I don't have the correct torque wrench. Now, if y'all think it's that important in the comment, I know you will, but comment, let me know. When me and Mike go to do the final over this car, I'm making a list, and before we take this car out, I will have him one night. We will meet at the shop, maybe anybody else that's local, and we will basically nut and bolt the car and check for washers on everything and Loctite and torque and just make sure everything's right. And I can definitely add that to the list of something that we need to look into. So let's put the camera down and put some blue Loctite on this thing. And then let's see here. No, actually, let's not put blue Loctite on. Let's just put these in with our fingers. I will wait for y'all to comment. There's no reason to, because if I try to turn this, it's just gonna spin on the shaft, because I don't have no keyways this afternoon to slightly hold it at all. And I don't have a belt on it to slightly help hold it at all. So I'm gonna try to put this on and try to get a belt measurement maybe tonight. I didn't think about that. And then I can call Procharged or the belt maker. I think it's Gates. I think it's the green belt. I think it's Gates. I got it in my notes on my phone. But I will then call the company and call Procharged to get keyways and the washer, and I will call the belt company to order the belt. When all that comes in and I go to install that, then we will take y'all's advice, and if it's that freaking important, I will use Mike's torque wrench, because I know he's going to have the right one since he's a mechanic, and we will torque it to the right spec. But if I didn't show y'all this in the other video, this grip tech pulley, you can see right there, has the coating on it. So these things are really sick. You can look up the information on them. They don't slip really. Like, you know, Prochargers have a big, especially the belt driven ones, have a big tendency to slip. But these is actually, it's not a coating, it's basically laser etched. So it's laser etched into it to make it rough. I mean, this feels like maybe 1,000. This feels rougher than 1,000 grit sandpaper. Maybe 800, 600, probably about 600 grit. Honestly, 600 to 800 grit sandpaper is kind of what this feels like. And so what it is just tons and tons of microscopic etching cut into it. And then I think it's basically like flat black powder coated or something else is sprayed over it. But it's just got a ton of ridiculous amount of grip to this thing to keep it from slipping, supposedly. So we'll order the correct stuff up for that. And then when that comes in, we will put it on. Just trying to check clearance. Boy, that thing barely has any clearance, but that is all the way back. So we're good. She's not hitting. Cool deal. All right, so check this out. Also, greatly appreciate y'all looking out for me on this sensor on this panel. So I would have never caught it. There's no way I can know that stuff. I've told y'all 100 times that I don't know this stuff, and that's, I think I try to be very honest with y'all and let y'all know. You know, when I don't know what I'm doing on some stuff, especially like this, I have no experience in it. So the paint and body stuff, hopefully I can help y'all, but I greatly appreciate everybody's help and concern over this sensor and the importance of it. Y'all definitely taught me some stuff that I had no clue. I have some ideas that I'm gonna use based off of y'all. One recommendation was to change the sensor out. That there's actually a company that makes a really nice sensor that uses that thread in push lock thing. The problem with that is we just bought this thing, man. So you know how much a Holley sensor is. What is it, like $100 to pay for this thing or something? I don't even remember now, but it wasn't $20. So I'm tired of spending money. We already have it. I know we can make it work. This is where I'm really good at, and I listen to y'all and I can do it. So I got a couple ideas. We use a product called Panel Bond, okay, for 3M Panel Bond. That's what we attach the burn down tubes onto the valve covers with. They make it for composite materials. So what I'm thinking about doing is
panel bonding something to this nipple basically that slips over it, and you put panel bond inside of it. You would scuff your nipple up first so that it had tremendous adhesion, and then you'd put something over it, and then that way we can screw the nipple, you know, the 1/8 NPT nipple into that. So that was one of my things I was brainstorming kind of, because panel bond, once it's on, it's literally like weld. That stuff is what holds cars together nowadays. Modern cars, they're not welded together no more really. Like roofs and stuff like that, they're panel bond mold. So that was one of my ideas. My other idea was to take y'all's advice and just keep this hose right here and put the hose clamp around it. A couple of y'all recommended to just hose clamp it right here. That's perfect. And then what I was gonna do is where the line pushes into here, put some probably super glue, a bunch of super glue or something around, or even panel bond around the tube, and then push the tube in. But put the panel bond or whatever on this tube, not around the inside where it's going to go inside the tube, not that, but that way it stays on the outside, push it in, and then that thing is going to be locked on there on that hard plastic tubing forever. It won't come off. But that way there would be a hose clamp here on the sensor so that you could still take this off. But then if you need to change anything, you would just trash this little section of line and not trash all that, because the other end is in a push lock. So that was a couple of brainstorms. Another person said to cut this nipple off and tap it. So actually use a tap and die to tap it. So use 2 1/8 NPT so you can screw that in. And that's not bad. I kind of did think about tapping that to 1/8 NPT into the plastic, and then putting panel bond on the threads. So instead of thread locker, put panel bond on there and put it in. And once you do that, dude, it ain't coming out. There ain't no way that mess is coming out after that. So, but I just wanted to say that I greatly appreciate it, and y'all definitely got my my brain working. So now let me finally show y'all what's in the box. What do y'all think it is? If y'all watch the video on the race car money, cash back, how I made $780 for free, you already know. There she is. Excuse me. So I have not opened this thing up. It is sealed. There is what we ordered, whatever that nonsense means. I did call them up and basically had them spec it out, so it's not like it's some off-the-shelf thing. Or I mean, I guess it's off the shelf technically, kind of, but it's not like it's some just go on the website and order it, I imagine. So I don't know 100% how these things are worked. I just know that I was told to call them up and that they will tell them exactly. We had to discuss the blower. I had to get with TKM on the RPM numbers and the speed of the blower and all kinds of stuff. I had to get all kinds of technical stuff from TKM. So shout out TKM for helping me get this information I needed for this bad boy. So this was the jewel that we have been waiting on for a minute. Oh man, we got stickers. We can just close the box. Man, there we go. Yeah, we're good. We can trash this. That's $1,800 right there. Whatever this means. So it says torque converter installation. So this is definitely a Michael piece of paper. I sent Mike a picture of it earlier, a minute ago, and told him actually that, let's cut this down. Trigger man's pissed off about something. So told him to get ready. It's going to be a late night for me and him one night when we go to the shop, because we have to fix, let's see here, we've got a list. We need to do torque, we need drop transmission, do torque converter, we need to do 2 bolts in the overflow tank, we need to tap a side cover bolt, I think. We need to fix the mid plate bolt issues going through the transmission bell house and into the block. Some of them are not cleared, like the mid plate's getting in the way in a couple areas. And then we need to remove the mid plate out the car also. We need to notch the mid plate over here where them sensors are that I cannot get plugged in, figure that issue out. And then transmission dipstick is a complete pain in the butt nightmare the way it is. So I'm thinking about cutting the floor of the car out so you can basically open the passenger door, Zeus fasteners over like a carbon panel or something, and use a mini dipstick so you can see the whole side of the transmission right there where all the lines are hooked up. If it needs to be serviced or anything, you can do it a lot faster. So more like a high-end build car where you can service everything right there inside the car in the floorboard, but for it to have a cover over it and it still be factory floors, obviously.
So I told Mike that we need to get ready, or he needs to get ready, because we have a couple things to do. So, man, all my freaking bolts are out the bag. What's the point of sending the freaking bag if the bolts are not even in it whenever it comes to me? All right, let's get this thing out of the box. So there she is in all her glory. I guess there's no reason to take that off right now. Man, that's pretty cool, dude. So I thought, okay, so y'all, guess I need to read this. I thought that these torque converters were going to come with spacers to set your gap. I thought it should have spacers with it. There's nothing in the box. No spacers. So like when I watched John's video and some other guys' video, you always put the torque converter in and then you move it forward and backwards, measure that, and then put the correct shims in there. Or do I have to just use my own shims? I thought I could have sworn that they send shims and you do it. Let's see here. Step 5, transmission into the engine. Make sure the engine dowel pins are free. Note if you're using a motor plate, make sure your dowel pins are long enough. In case of a 90 mid plate, think you can get away using stock engine dowel pins. Anything thicker than a 90, please purchase and install longer dowel pins. That's another thing I want to do, is probably go with longer dowel pins after the installation. Push the converter into transmission as far as possible using a ruler or scale. Check the distance between the converter pad and the flywheel as shown in section A of figure 1. Pull the converter forward a minimum of 1/8 of an inch, maximum of 3/16. Using flat washers, remove any additional space between the converter and flywheel. Note, in case of forward applications with studs, measure from end of stud to flywheel. Tighten converter nuts and measure again. The difference should be within the tolerance. Okay, wow, that is 1/8 of an inch to 3/16 of an inch. That is a lot. Like, I figured we'd be talking, you know, decimal stuff, not freaking construction measurements. That seems like a lot to me, but cool. Okay, so you do have to put washers in there. I guess it's just not that big of a deal. I mean, them measurements, 1/8, maximum 3/16. You know, you can just use whatever washers you got laying around as long as you're within that. I thought it was going to be a lot more sensitive and needed to be like down to decimals, because I've always seen people doing like shims, like little, you know, filler gauges between them to figure it all out and check it. And then I'm guessing, of course, I'll read through the instructions, but this thing has to be filled up with fluid before it puts in, and then we still need to fill the transmission with fluid when we get to that point, which really, when me and Mike take this thing to the shop, probably go ahead and do transmission fluid, motor oil, probably about do that. Blower needs oil in it. We could technically do water in the system. Technically, once I wire the water pump, technically switch that on and check the system, I'm guessing, to see if there's any leaks that we can see right there on the spot. We can do the fuel pump. We should be able to trigger that on, hopefully, and we can put fuel in the system and go ahead and get some of that, where it's just make sure it primes up and we don't have any leaks that we can already see before we even try to do anything at all. So I guess we could do that stuff. You know, obviously we have to get the wiring done before we crank the motor, and Jason's going to get the headers done. But yeah, so that's going to be that. I did pick up these cool things. So these little guys, we're going to put these on lines right here that I got my water. You can see how I got zip ties on them. So I'm actually going to go back and do the nice billet lines. And I thought about putting 1 or 2 over that. Somebody mentioned when we were doing these that right there where they go beside the head, that I need to put some kind of protection over them in case you blow a head gasket, that you can cause a big amount of damage, since them are fuel lines. I thought that the steel braided stuff was enough to protect that, but I also, when they mentioned that, I just haven't had time, but I was going to look into heat blankets, you know, the heat sheeting, whatever that goes around the lines, and I was going to order some of that to try to slip down over that and protect that. So that's another thing I got to do if that's needed. Still got to make this bracket, so we still got some fab work. Y'all don't get too excited on me and think that we're about there. Definitely
make some grounds now. So I need to put this plate, this panel in that we did the other week, but I think I'm gonna call it a wrap for tonight. I just wanted to come kind of down here and clean up, see if these AN lines would fit, and make sure I didn't need to order anything else right now. I think we are good on ordering stuff, that I don't need to necessarily order anything right now. And instead, let's focus on getting the customer's job done at the shop, not killing myself. And let's get some of this credit card paid back down now that they charged $1,800 more towards my race car credit card. And in the meantime, in the afternoons that I feel like messing a little, we'll get this panel in, and then I have to figure out that throttle cable. I don't have no bracket on the side of the intake. So normally you like bolt a bracket to here, but I don't have a bracket or anything. So the cable literally like runs like freaking right here into it. So I don't even know how. Oh man, I don't know how you even do that, man. Like I don't know how that cable, how in the world is that cable gonna run? I mean, that thing is literally dead in front of the intake. So what does it do? Shoot up over the intake? Let's move this out of the way. Man, all these little things are gonna freaking kill me. So what do? Build some kind of cable, get longer bolts for this, and build some kind of mount so that the cable literally comes up and runs like over, you know, like up in the air over the intake and wrap around. Or maybe it should come up and go at a 45 across the intake. I just think that looks trashy. You know, you'd want it down low, but now that I'm looking at that, I don't see how you're gonna mount that, because clearly the cable hooks and runs into there. Well, I guess that's another thing I'm gonna have to figure out. So piece by piece, y'all don't get too excited on me thinking that we're almost there, because we are literally not. So we are gonna wrap the video up with that. And call that a wrap for tonight. I guess I will try to measure this belt real fast before I go upstairs, and then make some phone calls this week to get the Procharger belt here, since we got the alternator belt took care of. Like, comment, subscribe, share. I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks, y'all.